Hi, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Pro-Spectives. I am super excited. I have been trying to get these guys on the podcast for a while now. I have the leaders of Trend Moving, and that is Rob and Zach. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing? How are you?
Oh, I don't know that you're as excited as I am. Why don't we just start off? Introduce yourselves. Tell me a little bit about your business and who you are and what you guys do.
Sure. My name's Zach Matthew. As you touched upon, I'm one of the principals of Trend Moving and Storage. Um,
Yeah, and I'm Rob Giles. Happy to be here. We are definitely happy
yeah,
to be
we are.
here.
Okay, good. Well, tell me about what brought you to the moving business or your partnership. And how did you get here?
Sure. Do you want to touch
Yeah,
upon
we
it?
had a little bit of we both had a little bit of work history in the field at a couple of different moving companies that we started at. And through late high school and early college years type of thing. And your quintessential kind of summer labor
Yes.
job as a student athlete, I guess, and um definitely saw some opportunity. I think the both of us at both positions we were at different companies. And years later, after school and a few other kind of trial and errors in other fields, we kind of both somehow linked back up here in the moving and storage game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've known each other since we were about probably what 10 years
10
old,
years
and
old,
even
yeah.
before that. Yeah, so we,
Oh
we
my
went
gosh.
through the Derry public school system together. Like Rob touched upon, we did some things after school together. We worked some sales jobs, and we had a job that we really liked, and it was moving. And like most people, they think they can add upon it or make it better, add their own spin. So we get into the industry and we focus just on customer service and trying to supply a quality product.
Yeah, so many things are interesting to me. So my kids are both at Pinkerton, which I know is where you guys graduated.
Yeah.
And I think that boys make these lifelong relationships. My son is a sophomore now, and he's already thinking about entrepreneurship and like, oh, me and my buddy, his best friend, we're gonna get together, we're gonna do this. And I love it because, in my field, I'm alone pretty much. And there, you can be lonely. It's so cool to have a friendship sustain and work well together, and kind of take the strengths of two people. I love that.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's very important, even in maybe your field, if you had someone you can kind of tag in and tag out with on the phone or talk
Hmm.
about that crazy showing or
Yes.
that wild closing finish at the finish line type of thing. But
a
Yeah, it's like
hundred percent.
you almost review the game film,
Yeah.
for the game and kind of talk about what went wrong, what went right. He has a different perspective to life than I would, and that's just going to happen with any different individuals. So when you kind of pair that together, it's just been a pretty good recipe for success for us.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think all the things you said to kind of debrief and also motivation wise. I mean, when you are a business owner, when you're hustling, I don't know about you guys, but I think about my business 7 days a week, all the time, unless I'm focused specifically on I mean, I dream about it.
Mhm.
So when you get a little burnt out, when you're out of ideas or you're feeling the pressure of that, to have somebody else to bring the excitement and bring the like, okay, yeah, I got you, and here's this other really cool idea that we can add. Or
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. I would say even as great as it is on your good days, I think it's even more important on your worst, as you
yeah.
probably understand, entrepreneurialism, like you said, it doesn't really shut off. And sometimes recharging the battery is kind of regurgitating some of the bads on other people and kind of
Yeah.
being there to hear others. So it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're actually my first guest that too at the same time. So
Mm.
it's exciting. Um, so tell me more about Trend specifically and how you're different from other. I mean, I know because we've used your services before, but I'd love to hear in your words what you think differentiates you from the average moving company.
Sure. I would say, when you talk about a business and there, you know, it kind of unfolds into two different parameters. You have the one that the customer does see, and then what the customer doesn't see.
Mm.
So to be able to deliver a day in and day out product every day that, you know, is what we hope to be quality. People get a quality moving experience. We try and take the stress out of moving. There's a lot of operational things that have to go into place with a lot of management. And then you have in the back end of things, there's a lot of people on the computers and on the phones and making sure that that process is streamlined, whether the guys out in the field have what they need, or the people on the other end of the phone, or even here internally, it's something that never really sleeps. So you have this team, which I think sets us apart, is our team just working around the clock, whether it's customer service, whether it's on moves, whether, you know, if there's a truck in North Carolina that needs some support, they can call the headquarters and get that support. And in turn, we can turn around and give that to the clients, which has been really important to us.
Yeah, I totally agree. I know we were talking a little off camera, but as an agent, I see so many moving companies, and the whole point why people are hiring a company is to relieve the pressure. Yes, physical, but you know, calling in friends and like how safely is everything. And I've seen some very unideal situations, and yours was like clockwork, like on time. They knew who was leading the team. They were super encouraging to each other. You know, like I've seen that too, like movers, and they're kind of like taking forever, and like, or they're worse, taking a smoke break. And, you know, your guys were, you know, playing off each other to be really high performers, so to speak, and also personable, because you're touching my stuff, like my personal stuff. I don't want you to be grunting at me, or like, I want you to take the time to smile and say hello. And I just felt that that was a huge, and as I had mentioned, our project shifted a little bit. And so to be able to be like, hey, at the last minute, we need to shift this, and it was able to get done, I thought was awesome.
You know, just to touch a little bit more on what Zach said too, we insulate very well. So even our management staff, most of them do come up through the ranks of the operations side of things, and we kind of pick and place them into certain positions we think they'll succeed very well in. And you know, we don't shoot 100%, but most of the time we have great success by creating a developmental system for these guys for something to look forward to, or you know, really giving them a purpose, you know. And like you said, we have a pretty articulate group of guys that are, you know, bred from mostly student athletes, and you know, you might end up after a college career of athletics, or even just after high school or whatever, and you don't really have a firm plan. You know, trend moving is a pretty soft place to land with a good stroke of success that has opportunity. And like if we want to focus really firmly on operations, we're insulated well enough on the office side of things to kind of rely on them to self diagnose issues or handle projects on their own. Or if we want to maybe work on buffering our in-house operation a little bit, and the field operations needs to kind of do their dance on their own. We have a phenomenal management structure here for our field operations, which kind of proves for itself from the product that's out there.
That's delivered. Yeah. Which kind of makes me think about hiring, if you guys don't mind kind of going off on this. I think hiring and firing is one of the hardest things about entrepreneurship. It's like knowing when you're ready to hire, knowing how to hire the right people, knowing how to get rid of the wrong people. How has that experience been for you guys? Because you started much smaller, and now you've grown to, I mean, all the way down the coast, right?
Yeah.
So we hit our apex of hiring transitions during COVID too. So keep in mind, our industry as a lot, we progressed rather quickly. So we went from, you know, 15 people to 45 people in a few months. And during those challenges, we're also facing labor shortages or truck driver shortages. So it was the best of both worlds, where you have all this work and how do you fill it in?
Exactly.
So we worked really hard to get creative and kind of come up with, how do we put together a program? And the biggest thing, when you, and I'm sure you can appreciate you're in sales. So, you kind of want to create a well-oiled machine of how you, get clients, how you put them through the process and everything. So we turned around and tried to do the same thing for hiring and just make it like a hiring machine is what we called it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, our hiring machine basically is it's constant. We never stop HTR, hiring, training, and recruiting. It's a constant focus, especially from a field perspective. The guys out there are they feed off of each other's energy. They have their own personal life. They have their own ideas of how things should go, and how they have their own background, and a lot of those things can really positively affect or really negatively affect your work environment. And we really strive to always have a great group of guys first, and then we can focus on the practicality of the moving second, and your skills can always be developed if you have a great attitude and you really put a firm effort on preparation and good communication and things like that. And I'd say, like Zach said, we treat it like a sales organization. Like, we don't want to give up any opportunity on finding better and better people to bring in. And it only helps our operation as a total or as a whole to have good folks in the door,
Yeah, 100%. So how do you screen them?
Oh,
Like,
bunch
is there a magic question?
yeah, so I can't give you all the tips and tricks, but
Oh, okay.
we, just like when it comes to firing, we don't like, we love our people, and that's an entrepreneurial spirit. We spend most of our time dealing with, thinking about, and operating around these folks. And you grow to have a higher level of connection with people that you're around all the time, whether that's good or bad. And we really focus on the goods. But the largest way that we've grown time after time is when we need a good push of guys coming in every season, which we're about to go through right now, the busy season, as you know. We start calling out there for friends of friends, and then it turns into, if we come up a little bit shorthanded, then our recruiting efforts get cranked up on our history with different athletic programs or coaches, and hey, who do you know? Or you know again, I can't quite give it all out, but
Yeah,
we have like we built a gym facility here on site for our guys to basically hold like the collegiate football team workout programs kind of
awesome.
accountable, and with all the platform lifting, and we have the showers here for the guys, and a stacked up cafeteria with all the proteins and everything. So it harbors a specific type of guy to come in who really
Yeah.
thrives well in the moving environment, athletes.
Yeah, I was
So
just gonna ask that because I know, and I probably liked it just because it was more interesting to look at while you were moving all my stuff. But I knew that was like a thing you guys prided, college athletes, and I think there's so much that people learn from being in team sports and stuff, and I can hear it in what you're building, right? In taking those really good skills of discipline and energy and team, really truly working as a team, and it clearly is
yeah.
showing up for you guys, which is awesome.
Yeah, I would say, a part of the hiring, right, it's getting people in the door, but when they get through that threshold, what happens then? How do you treat them? Do you offer them flexibility? Are you surrounding them with other A players? Because A players want to work with A players. So are you creating an environment where people can grow together, and then in turn, when you hire well and you retain good talent, well, that talent lights a fire for you to keep going out and growing and growing and growing. And then you end up with multiple locations that you're trying to provide opportunity. So, you may have 5 people that deserve to grow through the ranks. And are you going to let them go? And, they put all their hard work in here and they're going to eventually look for an opportunity. Or are you gonna, put on your thinking cap and go out and find the next location, the next division, and try and take quality people and allow them to grow within the organization. And that's a really important tool when you get into the hiring aspect, because when other quality people come through the door, they see there's opportunity, and we always want to have an opportunity rich environment here.
100%. And I think, I mean, they say all the time, people don't leave jobs, they leave managers, right? So when you have, and exactly what you said, right? The entrepreneurial spirit takes a certain type of willingness to dream bigger, to look ahead, to believe that more is possible. So then you're attracting people that want that same thing. If you don't have a place for them to go, they're going to go find it on their own. And so, wow, that I love it. Well, I don't want to move furniture, but I want to be in your circle. All right, tell me a little bit about what's next for Trend.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
a lot of there's a few different directions we're kind of getting pulled in right now. The Fort Myers location that we opened up full tilt last year is now entered its new warehouse of 25,000 square feet and is fully operational. And matter of fact, it's almost overflowing at this point. And we have a lot of like internal bumps to smooth out to make sure we can be ready to grow. Like, not only is the saying kind of keep it small and keep it all type of thing, where you're looking at the money line thinking, I don't know, it's, if we grow, we are literally talking about taking money out of our pocket. And
Yeah.
it swims the same stream as Zach saying, you're going to lose really good folks if you don't create those opportunities and you sacrifice for them, who have been sacrificing for your image and your brand and your likeness. So
yeah, people sometimes will look into the organization and be like, oh wow, that must be everything that everyone wants within those walls. And the harsh reality, there's a lot of hard work going on, and there's a lot of, you almost have your shovel full of cash and you're just throwing it into the engine, the fire, trying to keep the machine rolling. So right now, I guess what would be next for us is we have Fort Myers, which is about 2 years in. We just opened Portsmouth, which we're going to develop that office, and we have a couple internal divisions with final mile, home delivery, and we have an appliance division as well. So we have about 14 delivery trucks on the road. So just continuing to iron out, put KPIs, SOPs, and everything behind those things is.
Yeah. I was going to say that, you focused on systems and processes, which I agree totally is the way to do it. And also what most entrepreneurs are missing. But also those break when you grow and they need to be reevaluated, right? What you could do when you had a team of 15 is very different from what you can do when there's 45. So, I always think about it as like a lot of growth and then a stabilization period, and then a lot of growth and then a stabilization, you know what I mean? To iron out those details.
Yeah, growth's tough for everyone, ownership, the people within the organization. It's just a matter of continuing to ground everyone and this is what we're doing. This is who we are. A lot of questions come up, and sometimes we get so lost in the motions of growth and go that, we need to stop and take a step back and just, pull everyone in a room and say, hey, this is where we're at. This isn't where we're going to stay, but we're trying to, finalize some things and work through some things, and, just keep assuring everyone that, we know it. We might be a little lost in transition right now, but we have a clear cut path of the direction we're kind of walking in.
Yeah, I love it. If you can believe it, we're already getting close to the end of our time. Goes so quick. But I would love to have coffee with you guys and pick your brain way more. But let's do kind of rapid fire, and you can each answer, and we'll go from there. So first and foremost, your favorite place to vacation. Rob can't say Florida anymore because now it's work.
What's a vacation? I think that's right.
I think vacation was 2018.
All right, well, dream big, guys. The next vacation.
I'd say I've never been down to the southwest coast of Mexico, like Cabo, Acapulco, something like that. Or the islands. Obviously, I go to the islands, but
I could see somewhere like Midwest, just taking things slow for a little bit. Yeah.
I need a beach. So.
I was just watching a quick, like a little I don't know, TikTok or something. And the guy was saying, you know, Europe talks about the United States as like they're not well traveled. They stay in their country. And he was like, now that I've been in the United States, their country is huge. He's like they're well traveled. It just it's just in the
Yeah.
same country. Okay. If you had to pick one word to describe yourself, what would it be?
Discipline.
Disciplined.
Mine is discipline all day. Yeah.
Let's say ambitious.
I like it. I wish I had more discipline, to be honest. There's this beautiful quote, and it says, discipline is the greatest form of self-love. It's foregoing, how does it go? Foregoing like current pleasures for future something. And I'm like, so true. Motivation just doesn't stick with you, but discipline really does.
All day, for sure.
Very admirable. Okay. The best piece of advice you've ever gotten, and it doesn't have to be business related.
Pay it forward.
Mm.
A big, yeah, I'd say we have a major pay it forward type of mentality here. It's definitely a part of our program too. What do you got?
Yeah, I guess just to mirror on that, you know, you got to pay it forward. It's
Yeah.
it's a pretty big one. Yeah, pay your dues.
Pay your dues.
Consideration and paying it forward, and yeah.
I love that too. You know, once you get up there, you kind of reach down and pull the next person up, which sounds exactly what you guys are doing in your business. All right, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
855-509-6683. And me personally, I'd say r.giles, Giles, at trendmoving.com. And he's at z.matthew, Mathieu, at trendmoving.com.
Awesome. And it's Trend on social?
Yeah, we have all of its
Quite a bit, yeah. We don't manage it, but we have quite a bit of it going on.
yeah.
So what is it, at Trend Moving?
Yeah, at Trend Moving Storage or at Trend Moving in both.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so grateful for you guys. I know you're busy building an empire and taking the time to meet with me. I just really appreciate it. And I know that all my viewers are going to love hearing from you. And hopefully I'll continue sending you lots of business.
We appreciate all the effort for sure.
Yeah.
And hope you reach out to us if you're ever in a time of need too.
Yeah, thanks for all the support. Seriously, we appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.